Namaste. Today we're going to talk about evil forces, interferences. Okay? You can call them as evil entities, demonic forces. So, as an Akashic reader, if you asked me this a little, maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I would have also said, no, I don't believe in this concept. But after I turned a healer, and I had a real time experiences with these entities, be it because of clients or because of me getting in touch with the entities. So I'm going to talk about it on what are the normal, to answer at first question, do we have evil entities? Yes, we do in this world. There are good forces also, there are evil forces also. Is our human body the only body? No. And along with our human body, we have an energetic body. Believe it or not, for all those logical guys, there is an energetic body which is also very aligned with functioning of our physical body. So I'm going to do another video about all those multi-dimensional being is what we call, right? Human being is a multi-dimensional being. So why is it multi-dimensional? Is even in yogic systems we have these panchakoshas. Aura has 7 layers, which is the outward projection of um, our chakras, which have 7 in our inner side of our body. We do have little more above and beneath, but inside us we have 7 chakras, which govern certain functionalities, certain elements. Be it emotionality, stability, love, creativity, comprehension with divine, spirituality, your self-expression. We'll talk about it at that later point of time, but this is, and if you have a chakra imbalance that gets projected onto the aura, which is again hazy, little lighter in, so a thick aura, it has to be very, like outward projected, and it has to be sharp. But if you have some imbalances in chakras, those auras becomes like tears, leaks, holes, unevenly. At that time, there is a possibility. These are all the conditions I'm talking. So, the number one reason when we are susceptible to these evil attacks is one, if we have certain imbalances in our chakras, which shows up as problems in our life, stress, very high stress. Because of that, we do have certain places which is torn, leaked, which if the body, if you are human body, and then there are 7 layers, and then any psychic attack or energy evil attack has to happen from outward to inside to touch our physical being and to stay, to cause a havoc in our human life. So what are the reasons? That's what we are talking, right? So one is chakra imbalances, and which may show up as high recurring problems and very high susceptibility of chakra blocks or imbalances projected to aura, which has leaks, tears, holes, unevenness. Some places it's hazy, very light, and it has to be very sharp so that nothing can enter into our steps. Second thing is again related with our aura, you is when you're highly a person with little self-control, be it because of smoking, drinking, alcohol, and other uh, alcoholic drinks or usage of drugs. When you take these three, what happens again is healthy aura. Again, as I said, is a series of, like, it looks like lines projected with strong, it's fully covered. But when it comes to people who drink and smoke and take substances, the aura is again gets weaker, lighter, holes, tears, through which it is possible for something to enter into us. It's strong, it becomes like a big protection. So if there is a glass, you can't enter into it. But if it is little having holes, layers, or it is very weak, so there's a possibility that something can enter. That's what I'm trying to say. The third is you're not born into the sun. You're always, see, I'm not talking from the vitamin D aspect. Vitamin D is Okay? Additional point, which is physical body. I'm talking about energetic bodies. So when what happens is the sun is giving prana to our being. So the very close layer, which is next to our human body, ethereal body, that is the one which governs our protection or health. The next layer is our astral body. So each layer has like n minus one, all of these seven bodies, which maybe it's a different topic, so I don't want to get into it, but know that there are layers which governs, where these entities can stay around us. And um, when we don't get into the sun, what happens is those auric layers don't get the energy, the prana to, to vibrate and to regenerate and to take care of the functionality in an optimal manner, be it from the auric level or the same thing projected back to chakras for helping them to balance. So sun is very important. Even though you don't do any of those chakra meditations and stuff, if you just intentionally go into the sun, it at least protects us in helping us aura getting stronger. Mm, the next is you're not at all into divine spaces. Like you will not have any kind of touch with divine prayers in any form. So then also divine, believe it or not, has a way to help us protect from any kind of evil interferences. When we take their name, like the good and bad can't exist, like it can't coexist. So the divine has very high, protection energies, guidance, protect, the vibrations of divine is very high. As again, who channels God, for some, as part of my living, in certain cases, no, though I'm so experienced in holding Akashic energy, which is also very high vibrational. When 4 years ago, when I have to learn, I used to have a lot of migraines. And now I'm able to hold it for 2 hours, 4 hours, no matter, and I don't get headache. But whenever I channel God energy, all my friend portion becomes like throbbing pain and I feel so drained. Even for 2 minutes to 5 minutes, if I speak to a god when I go to temple, I feel that throbbingness and the feel of pain. So that high vibrational energy is there. So for a human being, what it does, the divine energies, they protect us. So when since we are not at all into divine forces, so it again the protection layer is not there. We become more susceptible to evil attacks and psychic attacks. The next, which is the condition, which is like if you have gone by chance, okay, visiting to a graveyard or a burial ground during secluded times, and or if you have stayed for a little more time under a banyan tree, neem tree, where there's a possibility that the evil entities might be resting because they're lighter, right? They have to go elsewhere and stay. So um because of that, why even I can link it to a small point where why we are not uh, allowed to grow a banyan tree in front of our houses is maybe because of this, and it's always in temples. You see, so why is because the temple energy can protect the being of you know though it's a high, they produce good oxygen and all, but still it's the temple energies can help it not become prey to or a home for evil forces. So for that reason, most of the temples do have these banyan tree and neem trees, uh, but not they're highly advised not to build it at the backyard of our homes and stuff. So have you have gone there? Or if you are around a place where there is there are many people who without their knowledge buy houses which is facing burial grounds, or once it was a burial ground and they didn't know, and the builder has built homes on it and they bought it by mistake. without knowledge, or they're very near to, their house is a protection place, but once upon a time, the land nearby to them was a burial ground or a cremation ground. So any of these conditions, or if you're in a house where there are, without your knowledge, you move to a house and there were suicides or any kind of sudden deaths, and traumatic deaths. These are all the conditions where we are highly susceptible to evil attacks. And our evil, how do we know whether we do have an evil attack? Is um, we get demonic forces as dreams. In dreams we get these unexplainable characters. Then we have sudden aches and pains in our body. Sometimes I see my clients, they're like a lot of swelling in some places where these people, these demonic energies are feeding on them, their stuff. So, suddenly it is beyond medical comprehension, but they do get aches and pains. Or last, how much ever you eat, you're not putting on weight. That's one of the ways you can check. The other thing is, you know, uh, we act little, crazy in terms of, like we have some, mental health illnesses kind of thing is also, though I'm a mental health practitioner, can I look into energetic ways of looking at mental health? There is no better explanation than, psyche attacks or evil energy attacks, that stuff. Which we used to in India, we always had this norm, pre-norm that, if there is somebody who's having mental health problems, they used to take them to somebody who can help them be in this equivalent. The ways were harsh. I don't say that they are the right ways or not. I don't have much knowledge to comment about those modalities, and I still advocate, going through a mental health illness has to be treated by a professional, psychiatry and psychologist. But having said that, but you look at, there's a research that's going on in some, in other places in the world where energy medicine can help, help reduce or lower the mental health problems. There's still the research is ongoing, and I keep following it very closely. So one of the reasons I learned this Akashic healing and other healing modalities is also to look at that aspect. Um, One day I will get there in the future, but at this point of time, I can say that that's also a function, when we get into sudden mental health illnesses with no reason, with very high intensity. Or another funny thing that can happen is you act, how much ever you're eating, you just half an hour you get hungry and you have very uh, unexceptional demands for foods, or the way you eat, it's much beyond your, suddenly, sometimes beyond your normal eating capacity. So all of these are signs. The most important is, your head is messed. You feel like, there's a lot of indifference. Um, and short, you will have negative dreams. Sometimes you have these entities in your dreams. These are all signs. So now what can we do to protect ourselves? So I have recorded a meditation, and at the end of this talk I'm putting this meditation uh, as a way to for you to help yourself, to help you protect. So what's the way forward is, um, couple of things. As I said, there are people who have expertise in helping wean negative energies through energy wise. We need to find them. That's one. Second is, please go into sun. My very, very humble request. At least 30 minutes spent in sun. Two, start reciting um, some kavachams if you are a Hindu, or if there are equivalent prayers in other your faith, please follow those evil protection prayers. Any Hanuman prayer, Hanuman Kavacham, Kali Kavacham. Like we have these kavachams. Kavachams are mostly protection, so they mean protection. So Durga Kavacham. So we have Kavachams. So for Hindus, so you can recite that. So similarly, you might have some things in your faith. So you need to do that. That's two. Third, so if you see signs of mental health illnesses, at least for a temporary time, please go consider seeking mental health support. That's three. And fourth is, along with it, you can also recite. You can also listen to this meditation I'm providing, which is about weaning these negative energies energetically. So what happens again, which I missed to explain, is where do you find these entities is in your third layer, astral layer, which is your ethereal layer. Next is astral layer. So in the aura, third layer, they just go there and be there. Or it can also be in your chakras. In chakras, usually we know that a chakra means you'll have it as a vertex and it's one circle. No, we have 12 layers. In one chakra, we have 12 layers. Advanced practitioners know about it. So each chakra has 12 layers. The first four is about your physical, this lifetime. The next four is your previous lifetimes. And the last four is your unknown. It can come from others. It can be others. It can be from other people and other forces. So when I do healing, I see these pods, like snakes, some imps. They call it imps. Very new names, but those are all small beings. And they're in different colors. So I see them. We usually see demons in. You in especially in Hindu homes, we keep those. There is one black color thing we keep to even evil protection, right? Similarly, that kind of faces also some demonic energies do have. They turn that. So what happens, and how does a soul turn into demonic? When we are all humans, how does soul trans get into demonic forces? If you can know that, at least we can be aware of how this all happens. I'll make another video on explaining the entire process, but especially for this video, we can talk like, when we die and we have very high love towards our loved beings, or we have a lot of grudge because we passed away or somebody killed us, somebody betrays us, and we wanted to see the end of it. So we don't choose to turn into light. Okay. What is light? You can say for ease of understanding, like it's a tunnel. That's how I see. When we pass away, there's a tunnel that opens up, which is like a bridge between us and heavens. And a life takes some time, 14 days to be precise, 13, 14 days to go into that tunnel and reach the other side. So while we this video, I'll only restrict to the entering of the tunnel. The other thing we'll talk in the next video. So some don't enter into that. So what happens is at that time they stay in the earthly plane. When they stay in the earthly plane, they need food. So where do they get food or energy? So the first 13, 14 days they would have done the some in every culture they have post death rituals. So because of that, the soul gets energy either to move forward in that light channel towards heaven, or while it's staying in this earthly plane. But after some time, it loses energy, right? So at that time, people, their loved ones, if they nobody who is taking care of that soul in terms of giving them water, food, every culture, beautifully invites giving offerings to ancestors in a timely interval. And it can be anything. Every culture do have strong resonance with it. So when their loved ones fail to follow this in this modern, in our modern world, and we think that in our westernized world maybe, we fail to look after these many details that this is all we just because there is no evidence to it, we just push it aside and say it's not existing. Just because you don't know, it doesn't mean that's what is my saying. Even I felt same in the beginning, but after I came to know all of this, I see that there's a lot of reality in this. What are we have been hearing from our ancestors, um, from our grandparents, and from the people around in some place, especially when you hail from a village. I'm sure you'd have also heard certain things which is in resonance with what I'm talking in bits and pieces, of course. But I'm trying to connect the whole story and giving you an entire picture as what it feels to me is right. And then what happens is this soul, as it transforms into, it gets blackish. You know, it's transparent. It gets black, 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 black. And once it gets black, sometimes it needs food to eat to survive, or else it becomes more and more demonic. So for that reason, if the soul latches on to somebody and feeds, it feeds on the human body, so it gets energy. So that's the reason through this person to whom it attacked, it gets things done to get more energy. So usually people who are more stressed, as I said, they don't go in sun, they're not divinely, they're not into prayers, somewhere near to the the suicide, or burial grounds, or cremation grounds, or you've gone to by mistake. There's somebody who sometimes they've gone to pee in bushes during nighttime travels, and unfortunately there was a tree there and they got attacked. It happened. Uh, so please, I'm giving a disclaimer. Though I had experience on handling these evil forces, my expertise is not into it. Okay, I just know it, and I stayed away from these evil energies because it requires a different expertise altogether. But since I saw it firsthand, uh, I am talking to you about my experiences to help you understand that this is real. So please don't get in touch with me for exorcism or some things like that. I'm not expert in that. So, but these are the things that we can. So I had to do it with somebody. I've done a meditation to help them deal with it. So that's what I thought I should share with you guys also. So that's how the the energy gets darker and more darker. And once it gets dark, it doesn't have the sense of right and wrong, because for him it's all survival. So it just feeds on, and it doesn't. Once it latches on to a human being, it's very difficult to get it out. So what you need to do to undo is definitely either listen to this meditation that I'm posting at this point of time. Two, please put salt. The rock salt has negativity meaning capabilities. So please put rock salt around your house, like prangranam. So everything around your house, so that it's one level of protection. Third, please play. If it is helpful, please play Hanuman or any other Durga, Kali, these kind of energetic prayers. If you are a Hindu, um, if you are from other faith, equivalent to whatever that is for you, please do keep keeping it in loop in the house. And if you have noticed that person who is psychic, he or she gets super angry also when we ask them to do some threats, the yellow threats we wear for protection, or draksha. They don't like any of these. That's a pure short sign that yes, you should do something. So please help them participate in homas. If you are a Hindu again, um, pardon. If you are from other faith, pardon me, because I don't have much knowledge on other faith what we do. Uh, so in Hindu culture, we that's the reason I'm telling. So please, again, I don't think any faith is any less. I just have knowledge in this, so I'm just giving you. So please, participate in Chandi Homa, Pratyangira Homa, Varahi Homa. It happens in multiple places. Please watch out. Please go and participate there. Um, There is a Pratyangara Kavacham, there is Varahi Kavacham, there is Kali Kavacham, Hanumat Kavacham. So these are the three, four Kavachams you can definitely play every day. Mm, you know, then as much as possible, do these 21 days, 44 days upasanas on some prayers, okay? And see the changes. Slowly you will start being energetic. You will start feeling that moment, you know, that things are starting to be okay for you and stuff like that. And then the last is find a shaman or somebody who is into these specific, who who is expert in getting these things out. Though it might look old-fashioned, but that's the way. There are other places like Ramana Maharshi Ashramam, and then there are places, like multiple places. I'm sure it would be around your city and town also. So please visit there, especially these Shakti Pitas, or somebody who word of mouth. That there's this place which helps weaning. So please go spend some time there. These kind of stuff. So I'm gonna post the video of the meditation, and please, if at all possible, please listen to it. The important thing is not to get scared, but to get, if you know the knowledge, you know how to help yourself win it. So if you go on to the sun, keep praying, help yourself, protect yourself. And for those who are, who are normal also, it's always good to protect ourselves. Our energy systems are like projecting out. The more we are stronger, the more the aura can also be very, very spreading across. And if there are people who are in evil, negative energies or negative tendencies, negative in thoughts, our aura gets into interference with them, and it unnecessarily causes some kind of irritation in our head also. So usually, since mostly you're busy professionals, or you keep from morning till evening having a lot of conversations, and it's always good to claim our sovereign self. So even if you feel like, you know I'm okay, it's always good to help yourself protect your aura. So what I'll do is I'll upload two videos. One video is about the evil protection. Other is about you're all right, but how to protect yourself from negative forces or stress, thoughts, energies, that kind of stuff. Okay. So I hope I have covered everything in this. It was a free kind of a conversation. So I'm just sharing my experiences. If you have any doubts or anything, just post it in the comments. Whatever I know, I will share. But yes, it's our, we are divine beings. Okay. And when we are divine beings, it's our right to follow the path what divine has destined to us as our path. So these inferences and stuff will cause a havoc and stop us from walking the path what divine has chosen us to walk. For that reason, it's very, very important for us to claim our sovereign self, help ourselves be as much as purified as possible. The balance of chakras is very important so that our Agni chakra can be open. And your Agni chakra is open and all your other chakras are balanced. It helps us walk the path what divine has destined for us. So each one of us, as we are slowly getting spiritually inclined, each of us starts happening positively. And that's when we see things start moving forward. So I hope this was a very insightful conversation. If you have any doubts, please put it on your comments. And if I know the answer, I will respond to it, or I'll make another video in response to it. So again, namaste once again. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate you being here.